Everybody, it's Mrs. Curtis. I'm excited to be here with you again for another awesome drawing. Today we're going to be creating 1-point perspective shape drawings. So the first thing we have to talk about is, what is 1-point perspective? 1-point perspective is where the drawing recedes into the distance, creating the illusion that the objects are getting smaller as they move farther away. Make sure you watch the first video before attempting your drawing. All right, let's get started. We're going to open up the book. Remember, we're going to move past our optical illusion hands to the next blank page. Here's my hand. I don't want to draw on the back of this. I want to go to my next blank page. I'm going to go ahead and flip my book around, and I'm going to turn my book sideways. You can actually keep yours up and down or sideways, whichever you prefer. Now, for our drawing, the first thing that I'm going to add is my vanishing point, and that is the line in the distance that everything else is going to go back to. A vanishing point should fall on the horizon line. So this horizon line, I'm just going to draw it lightly with pencil because I don't want it to be there forever. So I'm going to draw a horizon line first, and then I'm going to add my vanishing point. And I'm just going to put my vanishing point somewhere along that horizon line. So that's going to be my vanishing point. Everything is going to go back towards that point. Now, you can use whatever shapes you want in your picture, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with squares and rectangles. But if you want to try some harder shapes, you can look at the examples in Canvas and you can try some more difficult shapes. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my shape. I'm going to start with a square. So on my paper, I'm just going to draw a square. The next step is to make it the lines that go to my vanishing point. I'm going to go ahead and switch colors so that you can see it a little bit easier on the screen. But if you want to keep using the pencil, I would recommend using your pencil. You can do this by sight, meaning you can just make your lines freehand. Here we go, this first line, right to that vanishing point. Or if you have a ruler or a straight edge, you can create this line using a ruler or a straight edge. You don't have to, but if you have one, it does make it a little bit easier to make them straight. You can also use just the edge of a sheet of paper to create that as well. So there's my first shape receding into the distance. And you can see how when it's close to me, it's bigger, and as it gets farther away, it gets smaller. All right, I'm going to try another shape. I'm going to do a rectangle over here. There we go. And then I'm going to make it recede to my vanishing point. So it's going to go far away into my vanishing point. There we go. And again, it looks like it's getting smaller as it goes back in the distance. You can also use shapes above the horizon line. So I can make shapes above the horizon line and then pay attention to how the angle of those receding lines change. So I'm going to go ahead and make a square over here above the horizon line. Just like that. And then do my vanishing lines or my perspective lines to the point. And you can notice I create my lines from the 3 corners that are closest to my vanishing point. I don't make a line from this one up here, because if I make a line from this one up here, I would have to go through my box and it would look like my box is see-through. I don't want it to appear to be see-through, so I'm not going to make that line. Sometimes if you have lines or shapes that are right above the horizon line like this, you're only going to connect it with 2 lines to your vanishing point. So I would go from here and here. I'm not going to go from these top corners because if I use my straight edge, I can see that in order to make it go from the top corner, it would have to go through the box, and I don't want to draw the lines going through the box. Same thing on the other side. I would go from here to here, and I don't want to draw that from that side. All right, once I have my pictures drawn and my shapes drawn, then I'm ready to color it in. Things that are closest to us are going to appear a little darker and more in focus, and as it recedes to the background, it's going to get a little bit lighter. If you have crayons or colored pencils, I would suggest using those to color it in. It's going to make it a little bit easier. So on my shape, I'm going to go ahead and color in the box first, nice and dark. And then as it recedes into the distance, it's going to get a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and lighten up my color a little bit as it recedes. And when I do my coloring, I'm going to go along the direction of those lines as they're traveling back towards the vanishing point. Just like that. So it looks really close to us in the front, and then it gets a little lighter as it goes back towards the back. All right, I'm going to finish coloring in all of my shapes. I might even add one more. I have a little bit of room back here for one more. I hope you enjoyed drawing these 1-point perspective shapes, and I can't wait to see what you come up with on yours. All right, I'll see everybody later. Bye.